Program implementation for global health pairs a student consulting team with a client from a public health organization. This video describes the workflow involved in students learning through doing. The video will take you through each step of the learning process and describe the reflective and feedback loops provided to the students from the faculty and their client. The first step in the process occurs when the student receives the scope of work with specific deliverables from the client. Here are the deliverables from a human resource management scope of work given to one of the student consulting teams by their client at the beginning of the 2-week human resource management module. These deliverables constitute the principal assignment for the student team. After getting the scope of work, the student consultant team will meet together to create a plan for completing the consulting assignment. This will usually require arranging email exchanges and a virtual meeting with the client to gather additional information and obtain guidance from the client. At the end of the first week, the team submits their first draft of their consulting report on Practera and completes a self-assessment of their work.
Once the student consultant team has submitted their first draft and responded to the questions, the course instructors are notified and sent a link via email or text to the submission. The link sent to the instructor provides an opportunity to review the student consulting team's draft report. The instructor assesses the report on the same 3 questions used by the student team in their self-assessment. This gives the student consulting team the opportunity to compare their own assessment with that of their instructors. Instructors are also prompted to make specific comments. The major review, however, is done via a podcast made by the course instructors. The podcast provides an in-depth discussion on the consulting report and ways to improve it. When the instructors have completed the podcast, they can attach it to the review form. The instructors then submit the podcast in the review to the students. The student team then receives a text or email with the link to the review and podcast. They can download and listen to the podcast and read comments from the instructors and compare their assessments of their performance with the instructor's assessment. The team can then use the feedback to improve their report before they submit it to their client. Once the team has finished their revisions, they submit their final consulting report to the client on Practera. A link through email or text is automatically generated and sent to the client. Clicking on the link, the client can then download the report and provide feedback from their perspective. The client assessment can be tailored to provide simple questions, either yes, no, or multiple choice. The assessment can also capture general comments. After the feedback has been submitted by either instructors or clients, Practera sends a link to the students with an assessment that contains a sliding scale from 1 to 10 on the value of the feedback. They can also comment, either with free text or pre-populated phrases. This feedback is compiled and then automatically sent to the instructors or clients as part of a weekly report. There you have it, the Practera workflow for the student, instructor, and client feedback.